Молодцы, денежные. Uçlarında başlarından bilen yeterli çok oturmadır bilemezsin. Ankette böyle sorunca bir şey bu.
Sen bana bak, şöyle şekilde. Bu ben. Nasıl başlamış şekilde. Bilmiyorum.
Però io male, proprio male, perché stai dando bir de kontrol böyle tekrar anlamak kilo mesela 30 saat böyle sürecek mesela düşük bir motivasyon işte bu durumda maksimum. Bu trend bir şey var mı? Bu nasıl işte? Sırma değiştirmem bir de korsan. Sırma değiştirmem. Yok, ben çok iyi Mesela bu bir kilo. Numara var. Ну, и это собирать. Ну, мои зарплаты вернее, полторы недели. Было прощание, тем более на этой почте. Это контакт вообще. Контакт это законодательный прощение. Сейчас это 13 максимально транспарантно работает. Тем более Ой, вот я меня еще хочу видео. Sabe graças aos que até também eu consegui passar.
Is not your laptop, yeah? No. It's okay. I think we have so many slides, so I think tomorrow we will see. I think tomorrow we will. Maybe later at 5 p.m. can call that person and actually talk. I know. I was there. Because is always playing. For lunch, and it's not about talk. What's your research PhD about? I don't do PhD. I only have master's degree. I'm working as a HR specialist. But I'm thinking about the PhD. But my major is translation studies. Translational. Yeah. My master's theme was translation of international tourism terminology from English into Uzbek. You, man.
Is that correct? He doesn't speak much English. No, so is no.
But do you understand what we are talking about?
Etnotourism.
It's not tourism, yeah.
Miss Ibarra told you or not, you want to record a podcast. We are starting a new project with our national guests. So you are gonna be our first honored guest. So if tomorrow is convenient for you, till seminar we can record about half an hour podcast. Anything. Just let me know what exactly it is. I will send you the questions. But there will be about 10 or 12 minutes. It will be about 30 minutes. Okay. Just let me know maybe later today or tomorrow morning. I'm asking to add 2 hours. Okay. If it good mood, we should give to this podcast. That's why tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning.
I'm telling we go on just.
Yeah. Today we go.
Это место студии.
Машина хозяина, я могу еще что-то ставить. Фамилию.
Kira-kira kapan dilakukan?
Да. Да, полное здание на наследование. Где-то я. Хорошо.
Berarti yang jadi orang sekarang itu, oh ini.
Saya belum berhasil.
Sorry, you want to show something from your laptop?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. So tomorrow we do some setup that from beginning, we just use my laptop. Is it okay?
What is setup? Maybe we'll here can install or because I cannot use this one in your PC. Not working. Voice. This one.
Okay.
That's
So
why.
okay, so tomorrow morning when I meet you, I will give you all the files. First of all, one or two PPT and the other files I will share with you. You can open. There are some websites which you can open here. Okay, no need to install them. This website. Yes, we can start. Others will join us later. How about the online one? Yes, it's Zoom. Yeah, but I can't see the participant. Did he already accept the participant? Or I can just start, even if there is one person also, I can talk.
I'm really interested in yours.
Hello. Thanks for joining. Right, guys. So we became back. That was the last topic which we have discussed about metrics, citation index, H index for the researcher. Okay. Why citation matters to the researcher, how H index works for the researcher and so on. So now the new topic is actually not a topic because it's a connecting point about the journals. Someone was talking about open access journal, paying journals. Okay, some good journals are asking to pay you, pay 3,500 euro, 4,000 US dollar. If I have that much money, I won't be in a research. Listen, for one paper, if I need to pay 4,000 US dollar from my pocket, I have to suffer for 2 months. Listen. So even though, see here you can see International Journal of Climate Change Strategic Management. Wow, 2,680 US dollar. That's huge money. Okay, and Journal of Responsible Production and Consumption are charging 1,500 US dollar. Okay, this is the lowest actually. This is lowest actually. But in Tourism Journal, Tourism Management, check 3,700. Sustainability, MDPI journals, they are charging 1,700 euro, 1,700 euro. That's a crazy money. Okay. If I have that money also, I won't be publishing. I will use that money for my leisure purpose rather than paying them. Okay. So, open access journals makes the research freely available online to anyone, anywhere. We can pay to the journal to make our paper open access. That's a good for in a different ways. One thing as a researcher, when I publish my paper, open access in one journal, so it will be openly available for everyone to download and read. So when everyone can access my paper, I have more opportunity to get more citation. Right? Also, I'm doing community work. Right? Making my paper available to PhD students, to those people who have little resources or no resources. So just go find my paper on Google Scholar and can easily download it. No need to pay. Number of institutions, universities, even my university is one of the prestigious university. But in terms of subscriptions to this journal, we are very limited. Because it's too much. Different disciplines, it's wide. Okay, and research, they have 100 years of data we cannot access. And how many people are really using that particular publisher? Well, 1, 2, 3, 10. It's too much. There are two ways. One is open access, the second one is subscription. So either you go through once you submit the paper, you can choose the option you want to make your paper or publish your paper upon the acceptance. Open access, then once your paper, it will follow the review process and everything, the crazy process, critical process, and then once the paper is accepted, they will ask you, you want to pay, you want to publish as open access. If you say yes, very next option they will ask you, payment. Normally I said no. Until unless I have an option, I have a funding from some other source. If no, then it will be published in a normal issue as a subscription. It's published but not openly available for anyone to download. Under the open access also there are two options, gold open access and green open access. Okay. Again, it's just a matter of money. Okay. Gold open access articles are immediately available upon publication in open access journal. Immediate. Whereas the green, authors deposit a version of their manuscript in open access repository. After some time. Okay. Version, first version, second version, third version. Because gold access, so which one? So I want you to think for a while. Which one will be slightly expensive? Gold or gold or green?
Gold is my best. Because it's immediately or green.
That's the thing I want you to think. Just read the statement with gold and green, then you think which one is expensive?
Green.
Green is expensive. Why? Gold? Gold will paper is accepted, but still after acceptance, there are some editorial change, this, that, follow the journal policy, journal protocol, style. After that, the paper will come to the normal shape. It will take at least 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. After that, immediately means the final version will be, means only one option, one time only you can submit. Here, paper is accepted, whatever version it will be published. Okay, then editorial will be sending you detail, okay, please follow this style, set your paper in this style and submit another revised version replacing. Then replacing. Okay, until they get the final structure of the paper. Okay. But in this green is expensive. Why? Because immediate and then number of options of revision and final version. For after acceptance of paper, I am so in a rush. Even 1 day also I don't want to waste. That my paper shouldn't be available online. Why? Because in that 1 day probably I will be having 10 readings, 10 downloads, 1 citation. Why should I miss that? Whereas the changes are just on the versions. How much? It's just probably less than 1% change. Change on the style. Style doesn't matter. For a reader, style doesn't matter. Content matters actually. She will be citing, or person will be citing my content rather than a style. Journal is the same, volume is the same, issue is the same, UI is the same. You understand? I send you a final copy of my paper or earlier version, work in progress papers. It's the same thing. Subscription based, so that was the actual phenomena behind open access and subscription. And then under the subscription, if we don't pay for open access subscription, then once as a reader you want to download the paper, pay. Whereas open access, it will be freely available. There's no payment for the author to download the paper. I'm sure you guys are researchers, you have seen these options.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you come up with this, then what you do? I'm sure you are not wasting your money on this. Then what you do? Then what exactly you do? You can go to the ResearchGate, because someone's paper here, definitely the person, a researcher must have a Google Scholar and ResearchGate. Find that person, the article, just go to the ResearchGate and search that article in ResearchGate. Okay. Whichever person, whichever author, first, second, third, whoever you can find, under that article there is a one button of request for a copy. Okay, and then they will send the copy to you.
This is subscription payment is for 1 week or only for 48 hours?
One paper, 48 hours access to articles means for only 48 hours. That's the way how the journals are making money. So, my reader will be paying the money. I'm paying the money for APC. Journals are making money. Why should I? Whereas I pay only for open access and make the paper available. You understand? So APC is not in my dictionary. Open access is subject to availability of funds. So key difference is access, funding and visibility. Access to the open access, it will be widely accessible by all. Funding, open access journal may rely on APC or institutional funding, while subscription based journal rely on subscription fees. Subscription fees by the institution that they subscribe to the journal, or individual are buying the paper, such as of $56 for 48 hours. But open access, APC APC, normally whoever is paying for APC, they are not paying from their pocket. They are paying, either the companies are paying, institutions are paying, they have some sort of fundings, and so on. Of course, open access have a higher visibility. Research also confirms that if you publish your paper open access, it will have 7 times more citation compared to a normal subscription paper. Recently, last year I have published few papers in open access. Within 1 year, I have 30 plus citation. And for other papers which I published couple of years back, it took years to get even 10, 15, 18 citations also. But there are consideration, important consideration. When you are finalizing the journal and you are willing to pay for open access or APC even, okay, make sure that it is a trustworthy journal. It's a right journal. It's not rejected journal. It's not a blocked journal. It's not a predatory journal. Predatory means those who are just making money.
How can I reject it?
These slides will be shared with you. Okay. On this list, potential predatory journals and the publisher. And every day, every month, every year, list is increasing. Mainly MDTI journal. MDTI is a publisher. Sustainability. Okay, that is one of the predatory journal. Okay, why predatory? Why they are blacklisted? Because they are in the industry to just make money. How many papers they are publishing? Thousands of papers. And every paper they are charging 1,700 euro. Wow, it's a good business. Okay, they compromise with the quality. Review they are doing for the sake of just doing only. Okay, how they can reject? Because if they reject, they lost 1,700 on each paper. I'm a greedy businessman. I don't want to reject any. More money, more fun, more leisure. Any question on this? Identifying the best fit journal. Yes.
I have a question. If it's so easy to check if the journal is mandatory or not, why so many people are paying money to publish their article on this journal?
Thank you so much. Because they are being pushed.
By whom? By
institution? By institution. As a researcher, as a lecturer, I have a KPI of publishing 2 papers, 3 papers. So if I don't publish, thank you, bye-bye, tata. Find a new job. As a PhD student, you have graduation requirement of 2 papers with your PhD thesis. If you can't, so I have seen students who have submitted and finalized their PhD viva even, but cannot get graduate because they didn't publish the paper. So they are willing to pay money. Forget it. Let me go. Okay. And also, believe me, I am not a racist person. I treat everyone equally. Doesn't matter which part of world you came from, because we are human. But believe me, in open access, I don't want to comment on it, but you just go and find who are publishing in that. Who are publishing? They are not a well researcher, first thing. Their H index is either 1 or below 1 even. Okay? They are just publishing because they have lots of money. Institutions are paying also. Or they are paying from their pocket. For me, it's 1,700 euro, big money, but there are so many rich people, 1,700 is nothing. Wow. They are asking different people, they are hiring people also to write the paper for them because they just need a degree. You understand? They just need these papers. Okay. So the most important topic is upcoming: how to find the good journal, how to find the fit journal for our research. Aligning research scope. Carefully evaluate the scope of your research and identify journals that publish articles on the similar topic. So let me ask you, when you are finding the journal where you want to publish it? When?
Elsewhere,
No, when? I didn't say
when according their date of issues, maybe we should check the requirements from which period they.
Listen again. You started the paper, you started writing the paper is complete. Now you are finding the which journal I should send, right?
Maybe we should, before select the journal and according their requirements, prepare our paper.
That is the practice. That is the practice because you need to go through the journals also. This is my target. This journal and this is option B. I always keep option B. Okay, Mission Impossible doesn't work. Mission Impossible true. Okay. So this journal, when I have identified, I am writing for this journal. Okay, so when I am writing, I need a data, literature. So I always go again and again to this journal. Did they publish anything similar?
Yeah.
If similar, then how different is my paper? Okay. Also, I make sure that I cite this journal in my literature. Also, I make sure that who are the key researchers in that, associate editor, managing editor, what are their key areas to understand the journal very completely. But that takes time. I spend days on it, just going through that's why I said I spent weeks to identify my 50 journals. So those 50 journals in my list, I'm so comfortable because my research is within that area. I don't go here, I don't go there. Okay, there are 4 keywords, key areas where I play around with my research. And those 50 journals, that's it. Carefully identifying, evaluating the scope of that journal. Each journal is different. Their aim is different, their scope is different, their objectives are different. Focus of the journal, whether the research aligns with the journal's aims and objective or not. Here you go. I'm sure on the journal's website you have seen something like this. Aim and scope, editorial board, submission guidelines, current table of content, abstract and so on.
But they don't have published the price for because when I searched Elsevier journals, I selected one, but couldn't find the exact point where the payments and prices included.
It's not available freely. First of all, for all the journals, it's not freely available. This information will not be revealed. And second thing, why you are going for APC event? Because this is not the first step, this is the last step. They will ask you for payment at the end only. First step is to get your paper accepted. That will take months, years. Don't forget 23 months for my paper. Okay, that takes time. After that, open access or not? No, subscription. But I will identify some sort of sources who can pay and acknowledge them. Okay. So, event management is the leading peer-reviewed international journal focusing on events and festival, meeting research and educational needs of its rapidly growing industry for more than 20 years. Events, event management, festival. Now, event and festival is very huge. It can include business event, it can include MICE, it can include so many. Business tourism, economic impact of business events also possible. Consumer delegates, possible. Convention centers, possible. Hotels, possible. Okay, but hotel related to business. Target audience. Determine who your target audience is. Researchers in a specific field, practitioner, policymakers. You have published a paper. You have finished, you have submitted the paper for who? Because paper ends with implication. Policymaker implications, theoretical implications, managerial implications. Okay, so your paper is for who? There are different types of papers actually. Probably last day we will be focusing more in detail about it because methodology is totally different for all different types of paper. Okay, so but this thing you have to understand who is the target audience for my paper. Okay, we have a policy maker implication. Do you really think those government officials from the ministry are reading our paper?
No.
Yeah.
For statistics, maybe for statistics, if they need any.
Not even statistics, because they have a fund. So when they need a statistic, they will be tourism. They will be contacting UNWTO, WTTC. Okay, because in our paper also we cited those ministries. Either we have cited those authentic sources for the statistics, WTTC and UNWTO. But policy makers implicate. But on that basis, why we are writing? Because we want to get acknowledged. For that type of research, we get a funding from ministry, and we show them that we have published these papers in this particular discipline. We are capable. So for different projects and for different fundings, we offer journal reputation. One journal, which is in Q1, but last year it was in Q3. How is it possible to jump Q3 to Q1? It's a question. Journal was in Q1 last year, but this year Q4, oh, gone. How is it possible within 1 year they lost their entire reputation? Questionable. It was in Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1. Sounds stressed. Okay. Immediately after finishing your PhD, you become appointed as associate professor, whereas you don't have any publication, you don't have any teaching experience, you didn't publish anything. There's a question. Even though you are extraordinary, but if you follow the process, you spend a couple of years lecturer, this, slowly and promoted. No question. You showed the track record. Reputation, because reputation comes with the time but goes within seconds. Reviewing journals, AMS, SPOKE, and recent publication is the most important actually. Just now we checked. AM and SPOKE, thoroughly review the journals AM and SPOKE. Spend time. You spend months on completing your paper. Then why you are rushing to find the paper where you want to submit? Spend time. Especially AM and SPOKE. Okay. Recent publication, at least last issue, last volume with a couple of issues. Last year, you can just search with the keywords of your title and then search in the journal. Did they publish anything recently? If yes, then why did you cite that paper in your paper or not? If you don't, then the big question is this. I get the comment actually that you submitted this paper to this journal and you didn't cite our journal at all. Whereas in a recent issue, we have a few papers related to this topic. It shows my negligence. You understand? It shows the negligence that you want to publish, but you don't want to give any recognition to the journal where you want to get your paper published.
But is it compulsory?
It is not. But in current time, it's a business. You give respect to take respect. You understand? So in a different, nice, polished and packaged words they will give you. But some of the editors politely at the end, once the paper is accepted, they will say, we are happy to inform you that finally your paper is accepted with the rigorous review process and so on. Also, we would like to invite you to go through this journal recent issues, because it was confirmed by the managing editor that recent issues were included few relevant paper. So first of all, go through those paper, and if you find comfortable, cite them. Your paper is accepted, you don't want to ruin the relation. And we know that we are not doing any non-healthy activity. Paper is irrelevant. Paper is, and I just forgot. We can try that. Okay. So it happens. That's called reverse engineering at the end. But normally, believe me, that's a simple trick. When you are publishing, when you are submitting any paper anywhere, please understand that journal first. Check the recent publication. I check for last 5 years even. If I don't find in the same year, last year, previous year, last 5 years, or ever, if they are published, because I want to cite the journal where I want to submit my paper. But I can't cite any paper, I have to cite a reliable paper. Which really makes sense. So that practice you can, because it doesn't guarantee you that your paper will be accepted on this basis, but it can give some soft touch. Recent publication, author's guideline. There are some publishers which have a free template. Teleferences actually. Doesn't matter whatever template you have, you can submit the paper. Template can be fixed once your paper is accepted. Okay? Once your paper is accepted, then you can fit the template within the author's guideline and so on. Okay? Author's guideline includes what? First of all, word limit. Journal says 6,000 means 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, maximum 10,000. And my paper is 13,000. Why they will publish? Each page costs them. Okay? Why they will be accepting? Each page, each space, each image costs them. That these rules are made to be followed. Otherwise, everyone will be doing this thing. I like this one. I like this one. Right? So, author's guideline, template, what style, fonts, color, size, headings. Okay? Like Trellis Francis, no template until the paper is accepted. But most of the other publishers, such as Emerald, Sage, KB, Elsevier, have to follow the strict criteria. Strict criteria. Before we go further in the author's guideline, one of my paper, yeah, it's the same, it's still ecotourism. Word limit 8,000. After having 6 versions, my paper reached to 14,000.
Limit is
8,000. When I submitted very first, it was within 8,000. But every time reviewers and editors gives me lots of comments. So when we improvise the paper, so many citations, so many references, so much of touch up here and there and everything, word limit becomes 14,000. So now I am in a dilemma. Very confusing situation. Once the paper will be accepted, will they ask me to revise the paper and fit to 8,000? Then what was the point of this ding and dong activity? Ding dong activity of 6 versions.
Meaning, yes.
Because if we revise the paper, shrink the paper from 14,000 to 8,000, I'm sure lots of things I have to let go. So wherever I have improvised in these 6 versions, probably most of the things will go, because once the paper is accepted, it will not go to the reviewer. Right? So what? So that confusion, because for ecotourism, still I am waiting. For other journals, it also happens. Word limit increases. Okay. So number of good editor-in-chief mentioned is not in your hands. Because when you submitted, it was within word limit. But the number of words were added on the request of a reviewer. So you can talk to the editor, sorry, I don't want to revise again. If I revise again, then paper will be again in the first shape which I have submitted. Then what was the point of reviewer comments and improve the one version which I have improvised? We can talk to them. We can fight with them. we can justify our position. But again, subject to their mood, subject to their acceptance, and so on. But we have to wait for the email acceptance. After that, they cannot do anything. Okay, so author's guideline format, word count or word limit, article title. Article title has to be within 8 words, 10 words. But sometimes the article title goes in the 2 lines, 3 lines. Wow. You have to limit within the 7 words. So every word, even every letter counts. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Here, ChatGPT works.
Yeah.
We put, give me a suitable title, revise and give me a suitable title with 7 words, 8 words. If I need with the 10 words, I ask for 8 words first. Different options. Out of that 5, I will make my own. I didn't copy it. I took first 2 words from here, 1 word from here, then use my mind, some synonyms, because make sure that title should reflect some keywords. Because when we read the title, we can understand what is the purpose of the study. We will be putting lots of efforts tomorrow on this. These are the author's guidelines, some of the now on aims and scope. Current issues in tourism, one of the top tier journal in tourism, CIT. It's very, very freaking hard to get the paper published. Primarily focus on subject of tourism. As such, we do not encourage papers that fall outside our scope. See, very first line is focusing on subject. Primarily focus on subject of tourism. Do not encourage papers that out of the scope. Something related to tourism only. Not even hospitality, not even leisure. In a journal, as per the definition, we can say hospitality, leisure, sports. The part of tourism, no. Focus on tourism, any type of tourism. Submission and workflow as well as the peer review process. So after the title, what is the next important thing in the paper? The very first paragraph. Thank you. Some journals have, there are 2 types of abstract, structured abstract, unstructured abstract.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one is good?
Structure.
Actually, both are good.
Okay.
How can, who we are to say that something is good, something is not good? We are no one. We are the followers. Okay. The journal says, such as all the Emerald journals, structured abstract, structured with a few headings. Some headings are compulsory to be filled, some optional. Whereas other publisher says, now when it is open, big question. Word limit of 100, 150, 250, 200. Wow. We were struggling with those 7 words. Now we are struggling with 150 words. Because we have to summarize everything within 150. But abstract should include everything. There is some formula of creating, drafting your abstract. What should come in beginning, what should come second, third, fourth, and where it should end. With what it should end. Yes.
We had this discussion a couple times. So some journals require you to send abstract like a month before you submit your paper, and then they ask you to you review your abstract and write some comments, add something, etc. So we usually base our abstract on the paper. It's really hard to write an abstract before you write a paper, but journals have really strict requirements for abstract. What should we follow?
Is there any?
No journal asks you to submit the abstract until unless it's a special issue. Okay?
Yeah.
Like I'm editing a special issue for one journal. Okay? So still I'm a guest editor of that journal, but I have to strictly follow the journal's protocol. Okay? Like every issue they are publishing 10 papers, so I cannot go more than 10. One thing. Second, word limit, the style, template, everything. But I want to have the top good 10 papers. Okay, so I send this invitation available to everywhere, social media, my friends, students, everyone. Give me abstract. Because that is called not a final abstract. That is called intention of submission. Something which you are intending, something which you are propose abstract. Okay, in that you will be using a future tense. Data will be collected, final findings will be doing this thing. You understand? The tense works. In the final, we don't use the future tense. In the final, in actual paper, we use present or a past tense. You understand? Because in that special issue, normally we call or invite more than 10. I send the invitation and it's available openly to the social media and I receive 50. What normally I do for my books, which I edit actually, I ask for the invitation, the abstract actually, and then I choose, oh wow, this looks good. And sometimes we receive something similar to I have to choose. Okay, I invite all. Or we can say, okay, 50. So after giving some comments to all those 50 abstracts, okay, submit your full paper with the time limits and so on. Then it will be out for the review. We have to choose only 10. Okay, if something is similar came actually in the abstract also, we can say this one is already, how can you change? How can you mold? Or it doesn't fall or fit within the scope of a journal as well as special issue. Okay.
That's the issue of journal.
Yes, special issue. A special issue. So normal journal, normal issues are regular issues. The one you are talking about, that's a special issue.
Special issues are normally dedicated to something,
Like
events or
if we are organizing
anniversaries.
conference, we
Conference.
buy from the publisher or journal their special issue as our previous guide forum. If I'm not
This is one of-
mistaken, we
Mainly, it's if you are having a conference or event, then yes. But it is not necessary that it has to be related to the conference. We can normally come up with a proposal and propose to the managing editor or editor-in-chief, and that I would like to have the special issue of this journal, and then the proposal will be having lots of details actually. I have already proposed to the 3 different journals, and it's already been 4 months. I didn't receive. Because to get the special issue of some good journal is not easy. Okay, they are reviewing my proposal as well as my profile. Who am I?
Special issues somehow giving you some extra points, or it's just.
See,
just about
especially now. See. As an author, you don't need to understand. As an author, that's why that is not our discussion also, because that's a different debate actually. As an editor, because as a researcher, you will have that job probably after 10 years. Once you are established researcher, then you want to edit the journal also. Yes, it's different and extra point for my KPI. Okay, I'm associate editor of my journal. I'm associate editor for events management journal. Okay, and now I can ask a special issue of any of the tourism management or tourism review. But again, there is no guarantee that they will be giving me. But if I have that special issue, it means I have edited one issue of most prestigious journal. It will give some extra point to my credibility. Okay, it will make me as a good researcher, or it will definitely flourish to my cosmetic.
So yes, there is nothing to do with our
No,
today's topic.
no,
Yes.
that's why, because today's topic we are talking about as an author, as a researcher actually, not editing anything, as only writer.
Sorry, I just looked at it.
So manuscript requirement revolves around the format, word limit, the title, abstract is structured, unstructured, structured abstract such as the purpose, design, findings, originality, implication, in a few headings, practical, theoretical, and so on. Keywords. After abstract keywords, how do you choose the keywords?
What's the most words in your article?
Most commonly used terms, most strong terms. Those 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the requirement actually. If you put those 5 words, it means your research is revolving around them.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't mean that you take the actual construct or the variable of your research and put, no, not necessary. Most commonly, which explains the actual phenomena. It can include any construct, it can include a methodology, it can include location, geographical location, it can include anything. Ethical consideration in research. No one is watching you except your God. Okay. God is watching when we are together, God is watching when we are alone. God is watching what we do with our data. Okay. There is something called manipulation of your data. You are a researcher, we are a researcher. We are not supposed to change our data, do anything with our data to have the findings what we are perceiving. No. We are researcher, we collected the data, we are analyzing the data, and then we are reflecting the results. Okay. There's no written formula that all the hypothesis has to be accepted. No. Okay. It can be a mixture, rejected, accepted. All hypotheses can be rejected also, because you are a researcher. Your job is to just report. You did this thing through this style, this way, this method. These are the results. On that basis, you do your implication, conclusions and discussions. That's it. So ethical. Obtain necessary ethical approval from your institution that you will be carrying forward this research. Humans are involved, because this can be a very serious issue. Okay. If you are collecting the data from human, did you take the consent from them? It has to be in a written, signed consent form. Even there are so many simple things also we can't do in our daily life, or we can, in a layman words, permission. Ensure proper authorship attribution and avoid ghost authorship. No freeload. Make sure whoever the authors are involved in the paper, they have a significant contribution. That's the reason when we are writing the paper for so many journals, actually, they have a one section where they want to know what was the role of author 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. What was the role? They wrote introduction, their role was towards articulation, funding, method, data collection, proofreading. What was their role? Because most of my PhD students actually, of course, it's their requirement. They have to publish. And also, there is no written rule that I have to be an author for their research. But I have contributed to their research. I have contributed to their papers also. So I believe that I have a right to be a second author. Okay, but again, it's subject to if they want. But I cannot ask the first authorship ethically. It's not allowed, because it's not my research, it's their research. declare potential conflict of interest if you have any conflict among authors or anything else. Plagiarism check and data availability. Plagiarism check is a must. Okay, make sure that you didn't copy the data. It's okay. You can copy from anywhere, paraphrase and cite it. But it means you are a researcher actually, because the entire literature, 80% of the literature we are getting from here, there are some sources. And then this one said this one, left over with this. This one used in terms of qualitative, but in Barcelona, now I'm connecting in Malaysia, some variables were left over because we have to identify the limitation. When we find the limitation in the other's paper, we can highlight the novelty of our paper. How to find the journal? These were the simple steps which we discussed actually. The very first one is scope, aim, objectives, and so on. Then also on the different publisher, this tab is available. Find me a suitable journal. Okay, and it will ask you to write down copy your title, copy your abstract. So under that publisher, whatever the suitable journal related to the title and abstract will be listed. Okay, first, second, 3, 4, 5. Okay, also will show the percentage. First one, 90% similar. Okay, but mainly open access. Or mainly they ask for the APC. Okay, the best way is this will be a shortcut. Okay, so still I want you to go to the Scopus, go to the Web of Science, put your head in, find out the suitable one. Because in that way, you will be spending time reading focus of different journals. Okay, or you are not the one in your paper, there are few, right? So first of all, you identify list down 5. Out of 500, you just shortlisted 5. Divide, you check these two, within 1 hour, your journal will be identified, option A and option B. Make sure you always have option B. It will save time in finding the journal. While you are searching for one, why can't you search 2 simultaneously? So that is on SGR. Then we have Elsevier. Also we have option. Title and abstract can find the relevant in Elsevier. Then we have in Sage. Also the same option. We have also in Wiley. Every publisher have this option. It helps to find the suitable journal related to our paper. Step-by-step submission. Manuscript preparation, you have finalized the manuscript. This is for those who find out the journal only at the end. But earlier we discussed, please don't do. I was doing the same. See, we are learning every day. So there was some turning point actually. And that really put me in a thinking that, yeah, so far what I was doing, it was okay, but now I need to change. Okay, option A, B, or at least. Okay, while we are digging, we are writing our literature review, we are getting more closer. Out of 4, 2 are gone. You understand? And then probably until you finalize your findings and discussion, you will be ending up with the option A, most suitable. Then option B. Structure your journal. Subject to the journal policy, finalizing your manuscript according to the journal guideline. Well organized, clearly written, and free of error. Proofread. Free of error. See, well organized when we follow the structure. Structure has See, journal have a detailed guidelines, right? Why they put lots of efforts and came up with these guidelines? Okay. When you did your degree, you had lots of assignments for every subject, right? I'm sure your lecturer gave a detailed guidelines, detailed instructions. Okay, when to submit, how to submit, what you need to include, what should be the template, the cover page, the headings, referencing, style, fonts, italic, this and that. Same thing for the journal. Heading A, heading B, subheading, subheading, sub and subheading. Yeah, it happens, right? The first one, capital and bold. Second one, only first letter and bold. Third, not bold, just capital or italic. We have to follow APA, Harvard, or any other style of referencing. Referencing style is not only at the end. Referencing style is throughout the paper. Because citations as well as the reference style for your tables and figures. So check the APA. I use most commonly APA, but sometimes I go with those journals which follow Harvard, so I have to change. But APA is something like which I can, in a deep sleep also I can do, because I believe in manual system. Reference I set manually, so I have a confidence. Also, while we do manually, we go through each, which journal I use most commonly, which paper, which author I use most commonly. Understand? But there are so many tools. But I advise you, you are still at the level where you are beginning. So download the APA latest guideline and read it. And follow. Just print out and keep in front of you on the wall. While you are setting up, it will take just 5 minutes to understand. But once you did, you will be enjoying that work. Are we good? Any questions? Thursday.
On Thursday? Yes, you have the software, because I don't have and.
You can download it. 30 days free.
Okay, I will.
Online submission. 90% journal. I'm talking about good journals, index journal. They have online system. Okay. There are different platforms such as OJS, manuscript submission, Scholar One, e-reviewer. So these are the different online submission portals. Okay. Get familiarized with those systems. How to get familiarized? Even though you are not submitting the article, go to these portals and create your profile. Why? Because when you create your profile, you will be adding your full name, you will be adding your emails, you will be adding your affiliations, you will be adding your key areas of research. Right? Your record will be created in the journal. You will start receiving requests to review the paper.
It's for free. If I will get a request for reviewing papers, right? And it will be for free.
Of course, you are doing a review for a journal, and you think they will be charging you? Okay. In this way, actually, but again, it doesn't guarantee you that your paper will be published. Actually, I have reviewed 20 papers for one journal in 1 year, and they rejected my paper.
Wow.
It's not because we are doing for the community, and on what basis they will be accepting my paper if my paper is not with the quality, or not necessarily quality. There are so many reasons of rejection. We have a topic, so let me go on faster mode because we don't have much time. Supporting document, beside your manuscript, we need to create so many supporting documents. So when we were talking about the template or guideline, some journals says that please create only one file, manuscript, and add your figures and table in the file itself. But some journal says, please create the table file, please create the figures file, please create your manuscript file. That's okay. That's very easy. Just copy paste and create. But beside that, we must have a supporting document. Supporting document such as a cover letter. Cover letter is a letter, formal letter to the editor that I am this one. This is my paper. I didn't submit anywhere. It's not under consideration by any journal. And this paper, in this paper, we have done these major findings. And this paper fits well to your journal policy, journal focus. Okay, this is something like which we give formally some proposing to the editor. Then how it is different, what is the novelty, what is the new thing in this paper. Okay, but making sure that you don't copy your abstract and paste in the cover letter. Abstract will be available later for the editor to check. But cover letter you have to be very careful. I will be sharing few templates of the cover letter. Okay, or probably active cover letter which I use. And then what we change. So I just highlight what I need to change. The rest all remains the same. Carefully written, convincing cover letter. Because this is a starting. So first impression to the editor with the author. Theme of the paper, the novelty, the relevance to the journal, good fit to this journal. Why we have submitted to this journal, why not the other journals? Okay, so you have to talk about some positive attributes. Controversy or competition we must know about. Do not include, do not copy your entire abstract in the cover letter. And this cover letter is for editor. This cover letter will not go to the reviewer. Okay, this is one of the sample of a cover letter. Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Insights. Last year papers was accepted Q1 SSCI. Okay, cover letter just 2 paragraphs. Now, even this paragraph I don't change. This is just general. We confirm that this work is original and has not been published elsewhere, nor is it currently under consideration by publication elsewhere or anywhere else. We believe this research is suitable for and aligned to the journal. Then my email, appreciate, fine. Only changing this one and changing this one.
Don't you mind if we will take a break?
I was feeling, I thought I was like 5 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30, I can finish, but it's okay. 3 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes.
Yeah. But you are fasting, right?
No.
How is it going? Are you fine? Are you coping with me?
Yes.
Did you find some meaningful? Did you like it? Do you think what you are getting what you have invited me for? Yes. I have to do my job halal.
We see.
The next slides are very interesting.
I've sent cover letters, but was like for Russian journals, and the structure looked like that.
See, cover letter is your letter actually.
Yeah, there is not, yes, like one defined structure, yes, so it's just the cover letter. Yes, I have sent one. Yes.
Cover letter is always.
Just to explain for the editor.
It is not compulsory. But this is a normal practice actually these days that you must have a cover letter. If you have the cover letter, then it's
Is the problem is the citation with this Russian journals because there are no so how shall I put it? Not popular. Совет есть.
if what are both.
Но she said that it's dark
Can you open some window?
and
And then outside is cold, but inside the room I feel so suffocated. So even last night I was I switched on
but it's
aircon
not here. Is it? Yes.
because in hotel room I entered and after 5 minutes I warm it. So I switched on the aircon 24, put blanket and that's it. Or probably after hot shower we feel so hot,
Don't take hot shower.
Sorry?
Don't take hot shower.
Then take what?
Should be.
Yeah, no, not hot, it's just a warm, but of course warm, not hot. But cannot take cold shower at 11 o'clock, frozen.
What is the minimum time for journals to accept your paper, like reviewing?
No promise.
Every
That's why I
journal
said-
is different, I
Every
know.
journal is different, that's why I said this is a wrong question actually. Because I don't know, one thing. Second, you have identified journal, so check what is the average time. That was the point I discussed actually. Average time from scratch to acceptance.
What is average time?
I have seen 13 days also.
13 days.
13 days, not acceptance, 13 days on the first decision. First decision means within 13 days, they have to give the decision, reject, major, minor. It means if it's a desk cleared, review has to be done within 10-12 days. Because at least one day managing editor will be taking to clear off the desk.
You said you should have plan A and plan B.
Not plan A, journal, for the journal plan, yeah.
Let's say I have 1 year and for journal A I have spent 6 months and my article was not accepted and then for B I don't want to spend again 6 months. So it means I have to find another
No.
journal with
When you submitted to the journal A, 6 months before and after 6 months you got rejection. Okay. Rejection always comes with comments. Okay. So before submitting to the journal B, you again alter your paper as per the comments received from journal. Can you imagine? And that time I was not having option A, option B or anything actually. It was just rejected after months, couple of months. And then my co-author, the second or third author, then we sat again together and then we said, okay, these are the comments. The comments are not really realistic. Comments are okay. We can within 2 days we can go through the comments and polish here, polish there. And then I don't know, there was some professor or someone actually we met and then we were talking about because it was a hot topic for me, paper rejected. So we spoke and then they said, okay, over the coffee we discussed, they said, yeah, don't go for the journal, your paper looks good to me, go for Q1 and he suggested the journal. I submitted, minor review. Within 4-5 months, paper accepted. So see, that's why I said luck works sometimes, destiny of the paper. You are keep on fighting for something, but if it's not written in your luck, you will not get. So my paper I was expecting the Q3, but ended up with the Q1 in the same year. And how it was written that I will be meeting the professor who will be convincing me, I was supposed to go for Q3, Q4 or the same level.
Interesting approach. Destiny of the paper, not your destiny, just destiny of the paper. So somehow it will be accepted, I mean, through the like thorough work on it, I mean, with acceptance with the comments on it. So
Yes.
you shouldn't like like go to the B section journals just to work with comment. And submit it to the what did you mention?
Q1.
Q1
Q1.
section journals, yes. So it will be accepted anyway. Or there is no anybody.
He was saying that
Or you
don't
are
take
talking about
blindly, work on your topic, work on your paper, and
or you just your
apply for
actual experience.
See,
Or is it a chance?
if I understand your question actually,
Uh-huh.
okay, if I don't answer your question, then you can ask me. Paper is rejected from Q2, Q3, and then you think, okay, my paper is not up to the level of Q3, I should degrade my level and I go for Q4.
Mhm.
No, wrong strategy.
I should stay in this section, okay.
Reviewer have rejected or the editor have rejected your paper, not you.
Oh, I see.
You understand? Your paper, probably one paper, probably you didn't put lots of efforts on that paper. Now, once it's rejected, you have options. Okay. Received, immediately go to the option B, whatever you have, Q4 or Q3 or whatever option B which you have pre-decided, without changing anything, you can submit. There are consequences, I will talk. Or receive the rejection, review comments, improvise the paper, and submit to the same level, upper level, lower level, you decide your wish. But if you, without improvising, if you are submitting to the same level of the journal, but definitely it will be in the same discipline, tourism, right?
Mhm.
You will be having a bad luck if you meet the same reviewer. Because reviewer are from the same discipline. I am reviewing for so many journals in hospitality and tourism. Believe me, world is very small. I rejected the paper from one journal, and within 1 week I received the same paper from the other journal. I just wrote and then I just thoroughly went through, and I downloaded the reviewer copy actually from the previous journal, and I sent immediately to the editor of the new journal. I said, sorry, this paper was rejected by me for that journal, and without any changes.
So
Within same day actually I just sent. I said,
these are the consequences, yes? Without
Possible.
any chance, okay, I see.
Also, just one more point. Sometimes because I understand students and early career, they are so in rush, want to publish actually. Don't ever submit one paper to the two journals at the same time.
No, no.
That is
That's
100% you are cutting your own leg with sword. Okay? Reviewer can be the same. Or editor-in-chief, managing editor, associate editor. Everyone you can identify, okay, associate editor are not the same, managing editor are not the same, but reviewer can be because you don't know who will be my reviewer.
Unfortunately, this practice was in our countries in couple years ago, when our students in master's degree or maybe like PhD students, they were submitting one article like in different like journals, yes, in different languages with the same like content. And it was like, yes, it was maybe getting down our science like circle, maybe.
You know what? Yes, very good actually government have taken action. Because in a recent practice I have seen, once the paper is accepted, paper is published, after publications, if the journal have identified that there is an issue, paper is taken off and the authors are blacklisted. Also, a written letter from the journal went to the university or academics of academia of that author that this is unethical activity, please take action.
But the journals are not for blame, yes, and they do not take the responsibility for this, I mean.
Not all, but we have seen, so I don't want to name, but the well-known professors in Malaysia have seen this issue.
Have you heard about the internet, like Russian official website? They like huge publications about this. They call it heating. Data journals. They like they listed them, and all the like scientists who participated in all these this phony scripted on this.
Sorry, Russian, I'm not aware of.
So okay, but it's a very huge like website.
Should be, and these database really works.
Russian Academy of Science, so maybe Российская академия. Интернет, да. Американских
Да, в 40 мне непонятно, почему, где вы задают конкретно, да, число говорят, 500, знаете. Это такое не бывает. What is the common number of words in abstract? Sometimes someone like something. Yes, they know it's about the words. Yes, 500 or no more than 300 words, but sometimes there is no any restrictions or requirements.
If there is no, for the journal, if no number of words for the abstract is confirmed, then 200 is sufficient.
200 is sufficient for, right?
For the journal, don't go for more than 200. When the word limit for the abstract is not confirmed, please immediately check what is the word limit for the paper. If you increase the number of words for the abstract to 500, it means you are reducing the actual word. If that is 6,500, you went for the abstract, only 5,500. Abstract should be concise, precise, shorter. But there is one more word which is called extended abstract. That normally conferences ask for, not journal. Okay? Like for our conferences, we don't ask for full paper. We don't ask for abstract. We ask for extended abstract. Not 200, not 6,000, 1,000. 800 to 1,000 word extended abstract, non-structured, means general, normal, with references. References shouldn't be more than 10. Okay, so for our conference, we have created some templates actually, which we want to follow. Why? Because we have reason behind it. When we receive the abstract and it goes through the review, then we give the comment.
Да, вы можете его как-нибудь.
Accordingly, we accept the abstract. Then authors will be presenting the abstract during the conference.
Это сейчас наш компьютер, да?
Да.
All the abstract will be published in proceeding. So proceeding will be shorter actually rather than full papers. And we have lots of journals on board who will be considering some good papers from those abstracts also. So full paper of that abstract should be submitted to the journal. Yeah, I was waiting. After that is a desk rejection. Desk rejection means the editor EIC rejected your paper without sending to the reviewer.
Why?
They didn't find the paper within the focus. They didn't find the paper up to the quality. They find the paper not in the
Scope.
as per the scope, as per the guideline of the journal followed, or plagiarism is high. Okay. There could be so many reasons actually. Okay. So welcome to the rejection. So thank you. Dress reject in advance is a common practice for both conferences and journals. Okay. For my hospitality and tourism conference, actually I received the journal, external abstract for agriculture. It doesn't fit to my conference. If I receive the paper for my conference or for my journal on nuclear science, it doesn't fit. On physics, it doesn't fit. To the medical related journal, if we submit the tourism related paper, doesn't fit. So definitely, immediately desk rejection. But there are some common reasons, such as few I have just mentioned. Lack of novelty, nothing new. Poor methodology or so many questions. Methodology was not clearly defined actually. Who was the population? What is the sampling technique? What is the sample size? How the data was collected? Questions. Okay. Or you mentioned somewhere within one day you collected the data of 284. How is it possible? It means you created the data. Inadequate data analysis. You are reporting something which should be the result of some sort of analysis, but you didn't report. Understand? You didn't mention that. When it's confusing, that's rejection. Poor writing and organization, very poor. English is confusing, English is very poor, it's not academic, because there are so many do and don'ts. In research, we cannot use the word of I.
We.
Also, we cannot. It should be a third.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, researcher says. Okay, we cannot say previous paper said, prior literature mentioned, or this paper and cite it. Okay, these are just few things actually, and there are plenty of. Failure to follow the journal guidelines, that's rejection. Okay, until unless it's a free template, then no issue. But most of the journal, they want you to follow. Attention to formatting, citation style, word count, etc. Scope mismatch. The very first thing. Ethical violation. Ethical violation. Tackle demotivation to remotivate yourself. Get up and do something. They have rejected your paper. No one have rejected you. So get up. Yes.
If someone rejects our paper, but we will edit it, add something new, follow their instructions, etc., etc. Can we send our article to the same, our paper to the same journal?
Yes, article or paper to the same journal is subject to. Read the, yes, I understand your concern. Read the rejection email very carefully. Most of the time in the last paragraph they have mentioned your paper doesn't fit to our journal. So whatever you do doesn't fit means doesn't fit. Better don't. Okay. But if they have invited you to reconsider, okay. Most of the time when they want the paper after doing some alteration, they invite you. You can reconsider, resubmit. Okay, they don't use the word of rejection. Resubmission is required, follow this equation. Don't compare yourself. Everyone is different. Rejections should be accepted. Rejection are welcome. Through rejection we learn. Through rejection we polish ourselves and our research character. Push through the struggles. Be open about demotivation, rejection. It's okay. Believe me, there was a time I couldn't sleep in the night. Then I got the rejection. But now I celebrate rejection.
Do you still get rejection?
Oh, so many.
After so many years of experience.
What? Reviewer doesn't know me. It's a blind review. I'm no one. I have only H&X of 15, 17 something. There are H&X of 130 who get the rejection. So what? But now it doesn't affect us actually because we are publishing 30 plus per year. So it's okay. Every week we are getting at least from one update. From one paper we are getting update. Rejection, minor, major, accepted. So not that sadness with rejection, not that happiness with the Q1 also, because it's become a normal routine. But there was a time when the very first Scopus paper was published in Q4, I was like literally hitting to the ceiling. Literally, that happiness actually remains with me for a couple of days. Literally, yes.
Does rejection influences author's reputation in any way?
No one.
Never.
Rejection is a part of the journey. Everyone gets rejection. Once your paper is accepted, no one asks you that after how many rejection, and it is not written on the paper. You understand? So no one knows the actual history of this paper. I tell you one thing actually, a couple of years back actually, one paper was rejected from 5 journals. My paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Because I was lazy. Second, the paper was very, very old. Third, I really don't want to improvise this paper because if I improvise, it takes longer than writing a new paper. I just wanted to get it published anywhere, doesn't matter. And I published in 6th, but Q2. So again, you know, the destiny. But I got one of my PhD students, I said, okay, come. This is the paper. These are few of my comments. You do whatever you can do. You are author 3. So I didn't give any free burden. Person have done a wonderful job. I said, make sure that you use the track changes. You know track changes, right? In the word where we can see what are the changes someone have done. So just show me. Okay, so the review and then track. So I just, oh, wow, wonderful job, good, great. And then I put some few words. So, and he become a corresponding author because, okay, you identify the journal, give me 2 options, I will select one, then you submit. 2 with minor. Why? Because I was not getting time to improvise that paper. But I know that what is the problem, where is the problem. Someone I got, PhD student, new one, okay, he got the Q2, my paper was done. It's a win-win situation. And that student is with me with a full scholarship now, and every month he is getting 3,000 Malaysian ringgit from university. Okay. And in the very first year, he has published 8 papers. Be open about demotivation, rediscover inspiration. Just remember this one. This is not copied from anywhere. This is my creation. Okay, I have a big print of this in my office. Cool down, analyze the later, consider options, and heads on after the rejection. Okay, it's okay, that's a part of the journey. Okay. Analyze the later. Read, again read. Then print out and read again. Why? Because every word matters. Your question you asked, right? Reconsidering or not? That's option. Available or not? If not available, forget it. If yes, on what condition? Every words matter. So it's like, very legal document which we really need to see that what are the options available. Okay. Yeah, consider the options and heads on. Tips and tricks is journal search, brainstorming, and delegation of the task. If you are working with your supervisor, if you are working with you, 3 of you are working, okay, brainstorm, these are the ideas, and bring one of the supervisor, or 4 of you are working, okay, who will be doing what? Assign the job. Okay. Getting resources and sparing time, using resources, step check, third eye check, editing template, submission. Literally, if you work in the team of 4, within 1 month paper will be ready and to be submitted also. But making sure that you are constantly focusing on that. Constantly focusing on that. Normally, I target special issues. When there are special issues called, that is on my hit list actually, because they don't take longer. Okay, the acceptance level is higher. Also, that average timeline is much lesser. Okay. Addressing reviewer comments, most important. Minor or major, whatever the comments you have received. But your job is to convince the reviewer that you are the God. I follow you. Your comments have really opened up my eyes. I followed your comments drastically. I improvised my paper as per your comments and it's wonderful now. Okay. So then you come up with these tables. First of all, this file also I will share. Okay. How to respond to the reviewer comments. So journal editor-in-chief, what is the journal? Then just 1 paragraph. Then reviewer comments on the left, on the right, author's response. Not what exactly you have done in the paper. In that paper, whatever the changes you are going to do, that will be highlighted. But here you have to do, thank you so much. Gratitude to the reviewer that your comment was wonderful. And we followed nicely. We have improvised in this section, in this line, on this page, under this heading, in this table, in this figure, what? Sometime this file or response to the reviewer comments gets bigger than my actual paper. Paper is 7,000, reviewer file is going on 12,000. Because we need to convince. Believe me. Okay. Tomorrow or day after, whenever my laptop is connected, I will actually open up my all files and I will show for 1 or 2 of my papers what exactly was the process and how exactly it is done. Okay. Now it's not connected, so make sure that tomorrow we use anyhow actually. Because of this camera, the person said we cannot use. Provide a point-by-point response. Maintain a respectful tone. Even though sometimes the comments which you receive from the reviewer are very, allow me to use this word, nasty. Okay, which really trigger my anger. A layman person probably can be a very early researcher, the very first time reviewing the paper, doesn't have that knowledge. Again, he doesn't know me, I don't know him. And I don't like his comment, but again, I can't say anything. But now, we are not following everything. If I don't, means don't. So again, if there are different way. Either you follow blindly, either you justify, thank you so much for your comment, but in our opinion, it's not. And then we justify with a citation, this and that, and then. That's why this file gets bigger. Because this is not only the reviewer checking, managing editor and editor-in-chief are also checking. Okay, and they can check our profile, they know who we are, not the reviewer. Okay, the final decision will be from editors, not from the reviewer. And they can check the profile of the reviewer also. So again, if we are positive and our points are valid, our points are justifiable. If reviewer is asking your data is not worthy, you go and collect the data again. Oh no, it's not possible. Right? Collecting the data again, it means you want me to start everything from scratch. That's not possible at all. But what we consider, the data which we have analyzed is much more sufficient. Citation, this paper, this paper, this paper, this paper, and so on. In the same scenario, in which journal it's possible? How the reviewer can say that this data which you have used is not sufficient? Have to justify. Clearly indicate the changes made. Whatever the changes you make in the paper, make sure you clearly indicate, highlight it, use track changes, so at least the reviewer can check what are the changes have been brought in the paper. Justify your decisions. You agree or you disagree with the comment reviewer have made. So sometime when I don't like the comment or if I believe it's not possible, I disagree with a respectful way. Thank you so much for your comment, but with respect, I don't agree with you. Okay, in my heart, I'm saying you are so good. Okay, but actually you are not. Well, because the comments are not always welcome. Acknowledge and correct errors. Okay, acknowledge. Sometime reviewer says probably some minor errors. Okay, we acknowledge. Thank you so much for highlighting this, and we have corrected this. And really, your comments have helped us to improvise our paper. That was for the, and then major and minor. So those were the just general process actually. These revision typically require substantial changes, major changes. Okay, what is the major and minor? Okay, major means substantial, very huge difference. Okay. Allocate sufficient time to address all the reviewer comments thoroughly. Normally for major review, we have couple of months. For minor, 15 days, weeks. Couple of weeks for minor, couple of months for the major. Okay, minor can be just clarifying some of the points here. This thing you have wrote but no citation. This thing should be explained detail. This thing you should bring up, down, here, there. Why is a repetition? Paraphrase again. Okay. In the major, data collection could be change of your method. Can be implications are not correct. Revise again. Or you have wrote in a paragraph. Please differentiate for theoretical, managerial, policymakers separately. The major thing. When and how to appeal rejection. This is when your paper is totally rejected. Paper is rejected from the journal, you have a still option. You write a letter to the editor-in-chief. Thank you for rejecting my paper, but we don't agree with your decision. We want to bring you to the court. Appeal. We would like to appeal to reconsider the rejection. But for this appeal, we have to be very, very strong. In other words, we used to say we have to put on the thick skin. You know, thick skin. When to appeal, you believe that the rejection was made on the basis of factual errors or misunderstanding. We are saying something, reviewers are thinking something else or getting something else. You have evidence that reviewers were biased. Reviewers just don't want to accept our changes or accept our paper or for some reason. Whereas our paper can be a major comments, major revision, second major revision possible, third major revision rather than rejection. Okay. How to appeal? Carefully review the rejection letter, prepare a detailed appeal letter. It takes time. Why I have the points on this? Because I have done this thing also. Okay. We wrote to the editor, greeting of the day. I hope this email finds you well. We submitted manuscript. After waiting for over 6 months, we recently received a rejection. Without any review or comments or anything, just 6 months, and we received the rejection. Upon reviewing the feedback provided, we found that the comments are not overly major even. Our team is confident that adequately can address them. Okay, those are minor comments because any email comes from editor, rejection, major, minor, there are always comments. Normally for rejection, we have so many detailed comments. Okay, the paper was rejected through desk, on what basis? Paper was rejected through reviewer, what are the comments? Without comment, no one can reject. But when we check those comments are very minor. Within 1 day or 1 night even, couple of hours we can do. Paper is rejected, how is it possible? At 6 months. What do you think? What was the answer? 1 minute.
Answer for.
Yeah. When I sent this email, yeah. This is not the only email. With this email, there was attachment.
They apologized and.
Who? The editor will be apologizing me?
I don't know.
Even though if it is their mistake, they won't.
Okay, they just okay. The paper, they accept the paper.
No.
Maybe you should write your attention.
What was the reply for this email from the editor?
They might have given some comments, but they're not really
Often they
up to your expectations.
not reject, but maybe just
You understand, right? What I'm talking about.
ask you to work on.
Yeah, it's a reply for.
They were convinced with our email, and they explained completely what exactly happened. Okay, that was a holiday time in Europe. Okay, and editor-in-chief, we wrote to the editor, okay, 6 months, and editor-in-chief didn't check. Editor-in-chief didn't check, and editor-in-chief actually know us personally. He is on my social media also. So actually, first I wrote him on Facebook. What exactly is happening with your journal? Why 6 months I didn't get any response? Okay, and then one threatening email. I would like to withdraw my paper. My data is getting old. My literature is getting older. So get me the response faster. The managing editor have decided on whatever basis, I don't know. So editor-in-chief have replied this email. Yes, you improvise the paper and submit. Okay.
Ethical, if you know someone personally, for example, editors, etc., to write them on social media on something related to your article, if there is like blind review, you have reviewers, you have,
No, see, that's another thing also. See, I didn't ask him that what is the status of my paper. See, every message, every word have different meaning. I asked, what's wrong with your journal? Why is taking so long? I am not getting the response for my paper so long. In the email, I wrote the ID of my paper. In the message, we don't write. It's second.
So it's possible to write them, but you don't mention anything about.
Most of the time I don't receive the reply also. Because social media, LinkedIn, Facebook is for everyone. I send the request, you accept it. But it doesn't mean that you will be responding or replying my message also. You understand? Why we are connected? Because we are researchers in the same field. Who knows that tomorrow we will be working together? Okay? And after some time I appointed him as an adjunct to my university also. Because again, he is a great researcher, he can become one of the assets to my university. But it doesn't mean that he will be accepting all of my paper. You understand? Anything related to paper through email, black and white, and through official platforms. Social media is just for a short chit and chat. You understand? Again, it was not easy for this. Actually, there was lots of ding and dong because several things happens. Ultimately, paper gone through. Respond to all communication promptly and professionally. Spare time, whatever you are writing to the editors, journals, make sure you look professional. Okay? English is not our mother tongue. ChatGPT works perfect. Be clear, concise, thorough in your responses. Don't beat around the bush. Okay? Clear. I'm okay or I'm not okay. See, earlier I mentioned, with respect, I don't agree. Listen. Sorry, what you are talking about? I don't think so. This is a layman words. So give respect because reviewers are doing the job free of cost. I'm reviewing, I'm not getting paid. So we do our job to the community. Seek feedback from colleagues on your response. Whenever I receive the comments, I don't check on the same day. Any email, anything, I don't read. Because on that, I'm so anxious. Wow, I receive. Cool down with a fresh mind, early morning tomorrow. Tonight, stressful day, and you want me to, I received the email at 10 o'clock, and I rushed to home because I am so happy and I just want to. But I forgot that my mind and my body is so tired. Probably I read and I evaluate differently. Don't rush. You have 2 weeks. Okay? After going through the email tomorrow morning, I look at my schedule, when I can fit. Which day, which time. Okay? I just need 3 hours for this. I have to allocate because times are, the weekdays are so packed. So we have to allocate the time. If our calendar is free, boss secretary is going to call the meeting again. So we have to block the calendar accordingly. Maintain a positive and respectful attitude throughout the process. Respect. Hey, it's a gratitude. We all are doing on a free basis job actually. Remember that peer review is a process to improve the manuscript. No one is questioning your credibility. What is it? I love this actually.
Me too.
Why? Because it's so wonderful. On my phone, on my laptop. I'm using 2 laptops, 1 desktop and phone. So everything is connected to the same account. So it's so good, you know, every message goes very in order. See, it's the lines, errors, but it means there are something actually which we can do. Corrections, clarity, and so on. So this really works for the paper. Oh, that's all. Wow. So these are my contacts QR.
Yes, you can get.
You find your whatever platform you like, but I want you to join this. You can connect with me, you can question me, and this is my university profile. This is my research gate. Also, I want you to check this. You can check all of my updates. I really forgot, I should have a Google Scholar also.
Research date also, research academy.
Academia also, but I'm not active on academia.
Science. Courses.
There are so many actually.
Nowadays, so many.
There are so many, we cannot be on. You can connect with me on any. I want you to check these two first. LinkedIn, you can message me, call me. Then you can drop your questions, concern, anything you have. Just write. I will try my best to respond. Okay. The first and the last slide will be repetitive tomorrow and day after also. Okay, this is for all for today. And tomorrow,
Can you send this slide to everyone? So that we can read it at home and come back ready for tomorrow.
sure, tomorrow's our topic is
Yes. Yeah, but I can just
Cannot find you on.
but through this QR code also. Really? Oh, then I have to check this QR code. I can get it long time ago.
Would you mind always do?
Yeah, right. Who is the first one?
Sure. This is you? Please start over tomorrow at 9 or 9:30.
I'm fine, anytime.
Because it's starting after 6.
Okay, tomorrow there is some change. There will be some minor change for tomorrow.
Me too.
Not minor change actually. Let me just.
What about tomorrow morning? Will you get here yourself?
I can.
Yes, you can now.
Can.
Because you will go to the official office.
Yes.
for your documents.
Yeah, I will ask the lobby to get me a that or taxi.
Hiking.
Hiking.
From hotel.